Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. Today, we're going to talk about how to get more customers with strong digital marketing. There's never really enough customers when you're a small business owner. And that's why having a strong digital marketing element and a strong internet presence is so critical to gathering those leads that you're looking for. It's important that you spend time creating great content as a part of your digital marketing strategy and figuring out the right strategies that will help you drive those leads to your business passively, ultimately more leads for less work. That's what we're going to talk about today. So the internet gives your business a huge advantage. The opportunity to expose yourselves to a larger audience and newer audiences much easier than ever before. A great online presence also gives your business legitimacy. Most people are not even going to do business with you until they've checked to see if you have a website, check to see if you have a Facebook page. Doing great digital marketing allows you to build the kind of trust that most modern consumers are looking for. Also, when you think about it, your efforts are going to deliver long-term results as a result of the fact that they don't disappear. And also, the results have a tendency to compound over time, especially because of blogs, right? 1 in 10 blog posts will continue to deliver 38% of your traffic for years after you wrote it. These are important factors on why you've got to make sure that you're using that digital marketing to take your business to the next level. A word of caution, you probably already know that your company doesn't exist without a digital presence. Digital marketing is all about credibility. It's all about showing your potential customers that you really exist as a company. Most of them, like I said earlier, they're not even going to come to see you as a customer until they've checked to make sure that you have a Facebook page and checked to make sure that you have a website. That's a huge piece of why you need a strong digital marketing campaign. Companies that don't have a strong digital presence, they don't get seen. 97% of small businesses claim that their website is completely ineffective. It's probably because they don't have a strong social media presence. Based on my experience looking around the web, they don't have an effective blog or any way to drive leads through their site. So their website is ultimately just a static page sitting there, ultimately doing nothing for them. Strong digital marketing can solve these problems. Allowing your digital presence to shine and allowing content to come through and tell your company's story is going to start attracting people to you. Creating captivating, interesting to consume content is going to help you form relationships with that audience and that potential customer base. You need to make sure that you're including all the right components in your digital marketing strategy. When you do, strong digital marketing will drive more customers. It's the single best way to drive customers to your business. It's more cost effective than traditional outbound marketing, and it's way more effective in bringing in more leads. The key is you've got to use strategies that build your brand. You've got to use content that builds trust, that builds positive notoriety, and really gets your business noticed. We're going to talk about some of those great digital marketing strategies that you can use and how to put one in place today. So you've got to start with the digital marketing basics. The first thing about creating a strong digital marketing strategy is establishing your presence online. Determine the digital locations that your business should have, be it a website or a Facebook page, Twitter presence, whatever makes sense. Determine what's going to work for your company. The key is to do your research and understand what's going to best suit you as the marketer and your company and its story. A bit of a warning, Facebook is still mandatory. It's the #1 place on the web for people to find your business. It has the most active users of any social network out there right now. To not have a Facebook page is a complete folly. Just like not having a website is a folly. These are the two biggest things you have to have. I highly advise you build a Facebook page, even if you don't really do anything with it, except use it as a place to kind of showcase your content from other platforms. Outside of that, you've got to decide the best social media outlets for your business to be on. Just make sure that you've thought through as many as you can handle and as many as you think make sense. And by the way, it's okay to be wrong if you jump on a platform and it turns out not to be the right fit, because that kind of trial and error is ultimately a learning experience that's going to help you improve your marketing in the future. The next thing you want to do is determine the story that your digital marketing is going to tell. Digital marketing ultimately needs great content. If everything that you do is just a sales pitch, it's going to fail miserably. Being able to tell the story of your company and the relationship between your customers and your company, that's going to make a connection with your audience. Think about some great ideas to include in your content is what it feels like to be a customer of your company. Talk about how your company's going to be there for them, both with the problem that your product or service solves and if they come up with any problems as your customer. Share insight into your team culture, what kind of people that your customers are working with. It's important to share what your values are, so that way your customers know exactly what kind of company they're working with. A compelling story is going to keep people engaged and keep them coming back to you. Decide what your main digital marketing channel is going to be. Now that you've figured out what story you're going to tell, it's important to figure out where you're going to tell it at. When I talk about digital marketing channels, I'm literally talking about the social media and content platforms that you're going to be sharing your story through. This is going to be blogs, YouTube, podcasts, social networks, all the different possibilities of where you could be producing that content at. Every single channel has its own specialty. Using the platforms correctly requires you to really understand how most people use them. You got to take a look at, okay, what channel specialty matches your story and the way you want to tell it. Think about that and then create your primary content through that specialty. Does photography make the most sense? Is video going to convey the message the best way? Maybe long form content is going to be the best method to get your story across. Perhaps a podcast is going to allow you to give the most value to your customers through your story. Whatever you wind up on, decide which version is the best outlet, determine which platform is going to match that content type the best and makes the most sense for you, and remember that that's where you're going to be delivering the bulk of your company's story. How will you support your primary digital marketing efforts? Your main channel is a great start. Now you got to be able to support it with micro content on other channels. Real quick, micro content is the mini content bites that you'll find on usually on social media platforms. The best way to get micro content, the easiest way to get micro content that's effective and that shares your story is to pull it from your main content. Pull out, a quotable quote and maybe tweet that out, or a clip of your vlog and share that on Instagram. Maybe some audio from a video that you did and share it in your podcast. Understand that your digital marketing strategy is going to require that micro content to make a complete story. So figure out which social channels are you going to use to support your primary content. But remember that not every platform is going to work for you. Choose platforms, number one, that you feel comfortable with, especially because this is supporting content. It's not your primary content. Play your content to your strengths. Go with what you already know so that you can create great content. Because if you're trying to force a platform, you try to force a social channel, it's going to wind up making bad content. Bad content always hurts more than it helps because it trains your audience to ignore you. And they don't pay attention to your content, it gets nowhere. Make sure you're driving micro content that plays to a platform's strengths and works well with what your capabilities are. Carefully plan your digital marketing path. Now that you've decided, it's time to plan. What you need to do first is take a step back. Look at the whole story you're trying to tell. And now step into the director's chair. How do you want that story to play out? What parts are going to reach what platforms? What formats are you going to use to deliver that story appropriately across the platforms? The most important part is where your audience winds up as they move through your company's story. Yeah, you're trying to build a relationship, you're trying to build trust, but you're also in the long run trying to create a sale. Your story should nurture them through the buying process, right? Take them to the next logical step. So whatever part of the process they're at, it should take them to the next phase. And maybe that's going to happen over several pieces of content, and maybe that's going to happen very quickly over one. That depends 100% on your viewer. So what you need to do is make sure that you're ready no matter what phase they're in, no matter how ready they are or aren't to buy your product, you're ready to help them move forward in that process. How are you going to get them from viewer to customer without trying to hammer them to buy? Now it's time to start investing in your content. One thing to remember, all great content and strong digital marketing strategy takes an investment of time, it's going to take an investment of money, and it's going to take an investment of skill. And it's going to be a different ratio depending on how much you have of each. It's time to take a step back again and figure out what you need. Do you have the equipment to create great videos? Do you have the software you need to create awesome graphic design? Take a look and assess what you have, figure out what you need to get. Think outside the box. Yeah, I'm recording this on a camera with some professional lighting, but a lot of video, a lot of podcasting, a lot of graphic design can be done right here on your mobile device. Your mobile device has excellent cameras built in, they have excellent audio, and there's an app for everything. Chances are you can figure out how to do most of your content from your mobile device without a huge extra investment. Whatever you do though, avoid the easy ways out, right? Don't ever, unless you have no other choice, use stock photography for your social media. Try to avoid at all costs the stock video for your video content. Content curation will never help you. These are tempting because they might save you time, they might save you a little bit of money, they'll definitely save you some skill, some talent, but ultimately they're gonna hurt you if you can't differentiate yourself by creating original content that comes from somebody who's committed to telling your story appropriately. Just don't get in over your head. It's easy when we're starting a digital marketing strategy to take on too much. It's really common for a brand new blogger to say, I'm going to blog every single day, and by the end of the year they've completely burned out and you're lucky to get one post a week. Consistency and quality of your content need to come first and foremost. Secondly, you've definitely got to pay attention to your budget. You seriously can't invest more money than you're bringing in, because that's going to kill you over the long term. Never ever ever promising your content more than you can deliver. That comes from everything from how often you're promising your audience that you're going to create content for them, to the things that you promise in your content that your products and services and whatnot will do for you. Ultimately, all of those things, if you put your reputation, your quality, and your consistency above everything else, you're going to come out ahead. Planning out a solid digital marketing strategy and executing it correctly is going to change your business in ways you never imagined. Thank you for joining us today. I hope this information that we've shared helps you out, gives you a sense of direction and a good idea of what you need to do to create a solid digital marketing strategy. We will see you the second Friday of next month. Have a great month, guys. While I still have you, one of the things we touched on at the very end of this video was make sure you don't outpace your budget. What I want to offer you guys is a marketing budget template. It's going to help you plan out your marketing budget so you can get the most out of your marketing efforts. It's real simple. It takes about 5 minutes to plan it out. It helps you figure out exactly where to put those dollars so you can get the most effective marketing out of your money. It's a quick download, 3 fields, first name, last name, email address, and we're going to send this to you in your email, and you can put it to use right away. It's changed the way that several of my clients have done their marketing, how they've handled their marketing budget, and I promise you it's going to change the way that you look at your marketing, and it's going to change the results you get out of your dollars. Fill out the form, we'll send to you. You can put it to use immediately, guys. Thank you very much for joining us. Again, we'll see you the second Friday of next month.